In this video, which will have multiple parts, I'm leaning towards multiple parts because I like to keep my videos around 15 minutes. We're discussing a reprobate mind. Now, well, King, what's a reprobate mind? What do you consider the reprobate mind? In short, I would argue that a reprobate mind is a mind that no longer understands what's right and what's wrong. Now, that being said, if you've been watching King's video, you will know that I will always come from a biblical aspect or from a biblical perspective, because that's where my foundation of my beliefs, that's where it lies. Okay. So when we're discussing a reprobate mind, it's a mind that no longer adheres to the laws of the Most High. That's my angle. And I'll prove it to you through scriptures. Again, that's where my foundation, that's where my core is built upon. Okay. Now, what do you mean? What do I mean? It's a mind that's no longer adheres to the laws of the Most High. Well, I'll give you an example. The laws, one of the laws of the Most High states that thou shalt not kill, right? Now, reprobates can be as high in high levels, even in your synagogues, your churches, your government. Okay? Now, you will see that one of the laws of the Most High says, thou shalt not kill. Now, thou shalt not steal. You see that, let's use Mr. Trump and what's going on in Venezuela, for instance. That comes to my mind. That's been on my mind lately. A mind of a reprobate will tell you, or someone with a reprobate mind will come along and tell you, hey, we have a problem. That's a leader talking to his nation. We have a nation of people that's selling drugs or sending drugs to our country as a pretense to destabilize that country and its people, to steal its resources. And in that leader's mind, he knows he's full of BS.
Venezuela. How about we're buying oil from Venezuela? When I left, Venezuela was ready to collapse. We would have taken it over. We would have gotten all that oil. It would have been right next door. But now we're buying oil from Venezuela, so we're making a dictator very rich. Can you believe this?
Whatever he has to do to steal these people's resources. See, that's what a reprobate does. And then you have his followers who will believe his BS because they're reprobates too. It's unbelievable how the reprobate mind works. They will steal, kill, and destroy. And you know, I've been doing a lot of thinking about reprobates lately. And if you really think about the reprobates, majority of the reprobates that I can think of are of European descent. The reprobates thinks that they are superior. They will tell you a bunch of BS. They actually believe their own BS. It's amazing to me. Will totally disregard the laws of the Most High. Don't kill. Oh, we're going to kill anyway. Matter of fact, we've got some people on this little fishing boat here. We are going to bomb that boat. And if anybody, we're gonna fire it up. And if anybody survive, whether they're innocent or not, we're firing them up too. Now that's a mind of a reprobate. Those are reprobate minds. Total disconnection from the laws of the Most High. You cannot tell me that's not a reprobate. You can't tell me that. Total disconnection. But let's look. That's what the king thinks. Let's not go what the king. Let's go what the scripture says. Okay, let's take a look at the scriptures because it's important. It's important that you have a foundation of what you got to have a core of what your belief system is. Okay, so let's look first at Romans because see, it's important that we have a baseline. Okay, so let's look at Romans 1:28. Let's start there first, and the king will read. Okay, now Romans 1:28, and even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whispers, backbiters, haters of God, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents. Now, even children could be reprobates or have a reprobate mind. You have a bunch of wicked kids that don't want to listen and they become wicked adults. But let's fall back a little bit. It says here in Romans 1:29, being filled with unrighteousness. What is that? What does it mean to be righteous? Being righteous means you are following the laws of the Most High. If you're not following the laws of the Most High, you're wicked. If you're killing people, like I've been trying to tell Trump and his supporters, and I know I'm always on Trump because I really want Trump to make it. I really do. Well, King, why do you want Trump to make it? Because Trump needs to get out in the fields and harvest. He needs to harvest. He needs to work a real job. Trump needs to get out there in the kingdom and harvest grapes for the wine and harvest wheat for the bread. Can you tripping? No. Trump has done a lot of wickedness, man. A lot of wickedness. A lot of wickedness in his tenure, not only as a leader of a wicked nation. Because, see, I believe in the United States is not a democracy. No. What the United States has a representative government. Trump is a representation of what the United States really is. A wicked man in a wicked nation with wicked people that put him up where he is. You don't see a whole lot of people saying, listen, we can't go out here and label Venezuela a nation of terrorists and drug producers. We know that's a lie. And to say anything else, you're a doggone reprobate. And the Most High will deal with reprobates. Now, even when kids see leaders like Trump, and not only Trump, Biden, I'm on Trump because I really want Trump to make it. He's been questioning whether he can make it to heaven. You can make it to heaven. You can. Because the Israelites going to need workers. They're going to need laborers. And I'd like to see you at work. You and your supporters. Now, where was I? I digress. Romans 1:31. Let's go there. Reprobates are without understanding, covenant breakers. In other words, they will tell you, I'm here in good faith. And then you lower your guards, you invite them in. Next thing you know, bam, you're all jacked up. Either they hit you back of the head with something or stab you in the back. That's how reprobates operate. You let them into your nation, harsh winters. You teach them how to cope with the winters. You teach them how to, deal with the soil, help them plant, treat them good. Next thing you know, bam, you're jacked up. They don't steal your land, put fence up, and claim it was yours. It's madness. Now, once again, I digress. Romans 1:31. Let's go back there. Without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful. Romans 1:32. Who, knowing the judgment of God, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. Let me read that again. Who, knowing the judgment of God. That's the thing. They know a lot of time the reprobates know that they're doing wrong. They know it. They know the judgment of God is coming upon them. King, how do you know that they know? Because there's always warnings from messengers and servants of the Most High that's telling them, hey, brother, repent, bro. Because the Most High is going to deal with you. But because the Most High is slow, is patient, That's the one thing. I love me the Most High, man. Let me tell you why. Because the Most High gives you ample opportunities, bro, to handle your business. Because the Most High, in the old days, bro, the Most High would just take your ghost, man. The ground would just open up and you just fall in there, and he just closed the ground back up. Most High is patient. Most High in the last couple thousand years, bro, has been patient. Patient, just letting mankind, letting the Israelites do whatever they want to do. He really has. He's just let us just, especially his own people, the Israelites. He had gotten so sick of us with all of our madness, but he's starting to wake up the kings and the priests again. He has a lot, but see, the Most High is fixing to clean all that up. And he always sends his messengers to tell even the nations, not only to tell his people, but to tell the nations too. Time to clean it up. Now, I'm going to read one more because I'm about where I need to stop so that you can reflect on what I'm saying. Because a mind of a reprobate, that mind is a defiled mind. Okay? Let's look at Titus 1:15. Unto the pure, all things are pure. But unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure. But even their mind and conscience is defiled. When you can supply bombs to kill innocent women and children because you want to take their land and turn it into resorts and golf grounds, for lack of a better term. You're building on blood, bro. Bro, what kind of wicked? Bro, that's wicked, bro. I mean, what kind of mind? What kind of mind thinks like that? Really and truly. I mean, let's be honest. Let's talk about this a little bit. What kind of mind looks at another nation's property and says, man, let's just go over there. Since they're weaker than us, let's just go over there and take their stuff. Knowing I have plenty of my own. Let's go over there and let's just go over there and just label them drug pushers. That way we can take all of their resources, put their people in poverty, destabilize their country, destabilize their government, because we want what they got. Man, that's a high level of wickedness, bro. And who has historically, that's what I'm telling you. I've been really studying this stuff. Since the 1400s, the Most High has allowed one group of people to do all of this wickedness upon the earth. The Europeans, the Greeks, the Romans, the Americans. The Europeans and the European Americans. Think about what I'm saying. Let King know. King, you know what? You off. You off. You're off, King. Go ahead and put it in the comments. If I'm off on what I'm saying, put it in the comment and show me otherwise. Because maybe I'm the one with the reprobate mind. Because I just don't see any other nation of people doing that. I don't see any other nation trying to destabilize, or have destabilized African countries, carved it up where their resources can be stolen, keep the people in poverty, and then call them shithole countries. Who's done that? Europeans and European Americans. Who has destabilized Cuba, destabilized Haiti, destabilized Mexico, destabilized Colombia, and I can go on and on and on. And these nations, not sure about Cuba, but Haiti, Mexico, Colombia, they're all resource rich. Cuba too, great human resources. Who has to stabilize these nations? Europeans, European Americans. I can go on and on, and I'm not going to. I'll give you a chance to say, King, you off. The reprobate mind will continue with that in the next video. All praises to the Most High. You got to love the Most High, man. I love me some Most High. All praises to the Most High.